Hello everyone. Welcome back to Fantastical Chaos. And this is Seeker, the host of today's video of the official first video, I would say, not the introductory video. This is going to be a bit of a mismatch of a video, since I'm going to be talking about Relic, one of my worlds, but I will also be kind of saying things generally to other things, possibly other worlds, possibly other ideas, possibly just things that comes to mind, since this isn't scripted at all, as it would very obviously appear. But to go a bit deeper to Relic, and actually before I do go deeper, I do want to say that I hope that everyone who is listening today is, having an actual good time, and if not, I hope that it gets better, or in some way it gets remedied. We all have those days where it gets pretty quiet, or pretty loud in its own ways, and it gets really hard to get through it sometimes, but you just have to keep just, if you can't fight against the tide, sometimes you just have to flow with it, and sometimes that is all you can really mentally withstand when it comes with life. I don't know, that's pretty random, but just gonna keep things real, since a lot of people deal with a lot of bad stuff, and we all do our own ways of coping and dealing with problems, and always trying to mismatch ourselves for people or whatever, always having faces or whatever, having whatever thing to try to please others, or just trying to get by. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. Besides that, though, I do hope that everyone who's listening is okay, and whatever you're dealing with, I hope that you get through it somehow by our own different means. So yeah, I do wish to say, though, is that to share a little bit of myself, Mr. Seeker, I'm still tired. This is pretty much the same day as I did the introductory. For me, it's probably be a day or two when I release this video, but yeah, I'm still tired. My head's a little bit foggy. Not having the greatest feeling of motivation, I can say. But, gotta do what you gotta do. And yeah, birds chirping outside. The sun is practically beaming onto my screen, so that's nice. Yeah, so if you're hearing any sounds from life, That's why. You're hearing cars, birds, wind, the occasional annoying motorcyclist, and also my fan, since, you know, winter is gone. Kinda. At least from my place. Winter is seemingly is flying for its last breath to stay in the modern times. It's very strange. Summer, well, it's not summer, but spring is really fighting to actually make things warm for once. But besides me, time to explain some things about good old Relic. To explain it, and as I said previously from other video, Relic is a world where it is a medieval fantasy with technology and magic. Now, Relic, the world of Relic, doesn't have a name. Like, the planet itself, Relic is based on its own entire, like, cosmology, its own gods, its own powers, its own energy, all this stuff. And so to genuinely give a quick brief, like, you know, some shots into some things and contextualize it. You have the Veil, which is the spiritual layer of Relic, you know, where you have all these different outer beings, kind of imp-like entities, your angelic entities, your demigods, gods, all the different power levels, power enjoyers always like. But with me, I never like having someone who is just strong, in quote, to be just can't be killed by a regular dude. It's very possible. It's gonna be, again, kind of impossible. Obviously, you know, statistically speaking, but it is possible. You know, it's like Goku getting shot by a random laser gun. It's just one of those chances where it's like it's possible, can happen, but it would require great intellect to do it, not raw strength. So yeah, so that's the Veil, kind of a spiritual layer that's in between the galaxy and in between the realities and things like that. And that's where all these different spirits and beings live. In a way, it's kind of like the galaxy, but spirit layered. That's how I could describe it. So you got that, and then you have the planet that Relic is focused on, which the world itself has gone through many, like, just world, like, death-defying cataclysms in different ages, and just went through a astronomical amount of just development and change. And with these changes, you have some changes like what I mean ages, I mean not just like ages where it's like, oh, like the Iron Age or something. When I say ages, these are ages where, like, one random age is like the Age of Shadow. The Age of Shadow, it wasn't just like the Iron Age, it was like an age where, like, it's beyond calendars, it's beyond normal principles. An age is basically like its own entire domain, its own entire reality, basically. So I guess something to explain that in a similar tone. Again, I'm gonna be saying this in nerdy gamer way and how to explain things because I'm a gamer. most of my context come from games. Um, so the only way I can explain these ages is like the different endings of Elden Ring. You know, you have the age of like the age of the Lord, the age of death, the age of all that stuff. So something like that. So it's very much closer to divine how crazy that can go. So you have the ages, and then you got the cataclysms, which are actually could be counted by calendars, just like solar system calendars. So still a long time, but can be, uh, you know, quantifiable. And then the world has basically survived 4 cataclysms, each of those having different times, different eras, and such like that. And so with that, you then kind of all of that then leads up to the modern time of Relic, where it's at this time the world of Relic is in a state where honestly it's kind of fine for its life. That's how I can describe it. It's just a world where it's just doing its like damnedest to just try to survive. You know, basically having a heart that is almost a hollowed heart that is sickened. You have multiple beings in the world kind of playing a chess game, trying to get influence, but not trying to do it in a way where it off balances the entire world, since the world is so finicky at the moment. Very, very shallow with its foundations. I guess to paint a better picture with this world is that it's something like ruins on ruins, crowns on crowns. You know, monarchies have passed, kingdoms have crumbled. The very foundations of the world is made by the ruins of countless kingdoms and countless factions and crowns and thrones. It is that old, where probably the dirt is mixed with probably just really old ruins of castles, kind of like a archaeologist's dream. It's definitely, well, you know, what's fitting, it being a relic of its lifetime. And the world is alive. The world is a living world. It has its own sort of consciousness and heart and such. Well, right now a lack of a heart. And the world itself has many factions. Some factions that are trying to, in a sense, unite everyone through religious means. You have others where just trying to just trying to contain themselves in a desperate way from a slumbering king. I guess that's a little bit of a notorious thing in this world. There's quite a few of slumbering kings in this world, kind of. Kind of realize that thinking about it. But you have empires that, you know, keep spreading more and more and more, and again trying to unite people through force and advancements and such. You know, from greed. You have factions where they have very dogmatic religion and such. Others are more using power and treating magic as science for some orders. it is it gets pretty crazy as you can hear. It gets really gnarly. Uh and Relic isn't just one land I've thought about, which is the mainland. That's what I've called it for now. But you have other lands. You have the land of Shitamina. You have the land of Bildrada. You have the land of Nankai, and other lands such like that. So they all have different themes, different feels, and different vibes. Just how they would feel and how they would look. And yeah, so it's very multi-layered. Definitely has many cults, many forces. Its power is, I like its power system personally. It's a power system where is what I call Lamentrium or Lamentum, however you want to call it. And it's, in a sense, a power where, and to also clarify, this is one of the powers. So Lamentrium is kind of the main one. People can use this naturally. It's a power where you, in a sense, pour your rawest emotions and pouring that out onto a focal point in your body creates this manifestation of this power. And it's emotion driven, so someone who might be more angry or passionate could be the one that produces fire. Someone who is more endearing, resilient could be water. Stuff like that. And people like wizards are those sort of people that uses this Lamentrium. And then you have different branches of this magic, where you have Arcanum, which is, arcane magic, pretty much, where through sheer creativity and insight and a logical mind, you can, in a sense, create synthetic forms of Lamentrium, create barriers, and just create things that no other real power could do. It's very much a power that can only really be mastered by someone who is very creative, very much someone that thinks outside the box. But it is definitely weaker if you tried to make a synthetic version of fire or something, because you can't replicate raw emotions with logic. That's just kind of how it works. So if someone tried to use fire with their Arcanum and someone clashed their fire with Lamentrium, that Lamentrium user would win by a landslide. Usually, statistically, but again, things can happen. Yeah, so you have other different kinds of powers and such. So that's a little view on that. The world itself right now, well, I can describe it is that it's very much a world where it can definitely be used for like a D&D setting. I think most of my worlds can be like that, since most of them, well, pretty much all of them, were made for the sake of role-playing. And not in that degree. Role-playing as in like a D&D sort of role-playing. People, my friends would, role-play sort of stuff into these worlds. And by role-playing onto them, it has helped me create things like Relic and other worlds. It's been an interesting experience to do stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, I hope I'm not rambling too much. It's a lot to do. This is getting a generalist video, so I'm not trying to go into every single detail. And that is part one. Part two is probably going to be more short than that one, but I felt like I had to cut it down in order to spare you guys more time. So I hope you can understand that. Part two should come right after from part one, release wise. So yeah, if you want to see more, hear more about this generalist kind of thing, you can hop on right into part two. Yeah. See ya for now.